3. Welcome to the Creative Masterminds Podcast.
Chill, what's happening?
You know who you got in the house. You have Sean Breeze in the house, and you also have
Cash Thrive, what's thriving, y'all? What's up?
yes, sir. And you know how we do. We start with a weekend review, and then we hop into the subject. Today's subject is about believing in yourself and also practicing self-awareness. I think these are topics that we kind of discuss somewhat, but we want to just re-emphasize and talk about that and just give you some updates on how we are continuing to use those abilities to ensure that we are successful in our life. So
Giving y'all a mashup of
yes,
both. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
sir. And so Cass, go ahead and start with your weekend review like we usually do, and tell people what you did.
Yeah, man. Definitely holding down the family. Went and DJ for my homeboy for his his stepson's birthday.
Okay.
So we had a good fellowship. We all hung out and got to talk about where we were at that point and where we are in our lives right now. So that was real dope. We hadn't seen each other in a while, so it was good to fellowship and get on the ones and twos, play some stuff and all that, and celebrate another year for a youngin. It's all about the youth in my opinion. But
That's beautiful.
yeah, and other than that, man, just with the fam, my boys, they growing and giving love to the wifey and all that. So in the family, just being there, being present, and letting them know that I love them and that they're important, in my life for sure.
Man, which is super duper essential, man. Just being present there for your family and just giving them all of your awareness, and that's very important. That's very beautiful to hear that is your focus. That's cool.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
For me, same old, man. Like I say, last week and the week before and the week before that, getting ready for this baby.
Yeah.
This baby is almost here. Like the due date
Preparation.
is a few days from now. So the next show it's going to be probably like a Skype show or a group chat, like a Google chat type of show, because I'll be at the crib taking care of the baby and everything.
Come
So-
on, little king. Come on, man. We ready. Come on.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. So I actually did do a lot of recording this week. I made a song actually dedicated to my son. I guess it's
dope.
like roughly dedicated. It's like I use him as as a good source of inspiration for the song that I created. It's like more so like in the very beginning stages. Like I took a Big Sean beat single again. I took that beat and then I rapped to it, and then what I'm going to make a beat around my vocals and then make it like a real masterpiece. But it's pretty dope. I'll play it for you after the show.
Bet,
So
bet.
I've been really recording. I feel like I've been like turning into like Lil Wayne, like in a way where I just try to record each and every day, trying to learn the craft of rapping and like study the best lyricists, study Nas, study Jay-Z, but listening to a lot of Jay-Z, just trying to become better at rapping, because I feel like a little kid that I have basically went to a place where I just fell in love with the craft, and I just like love doing it and just bringing me so much pleasure.
That's
and
dope.
so like just been having fun with that and just really getting better with that and falling into that. So so you will hear some things in the very near future working with my producer mentor. He's helping me out tremendously, ensuring that I have the right equipment, and just checking my sounds and making sure that I'm yielding the best product from my studio, my home studio. So been really good, been really cool, been really happy with that. Other than that, just been working, man. Getting some photography gigs. So I got one in the bag almost. He needs to send a deposit, and then he got me in the bag at that point. But man, been really blessed, man. God has been like just he's been walking me through it. He's been like showing me the ropes and just guiding me, and I just appreciate the love that God is giving me and my family and everyone around me too. So
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's what it's about.
yes, sir. So let's go ahead and hop into the subject and start out with belief in self. And so, what happened to you over the week that caused you to think of that topic and make that something that you wanted to reinforce? Because I know you believe in yourself, of course, but
sure.
what made you want to go ahead and reinforce that the benefits of believing in yourself?
Well, of course, man, it's important. In my Thrive Thursday, I do those. I was talking about the youth and their mindset, and early on, we need to instill the self belief in our children and ourselves. Because they're the next generation, and we don't want them to not have an identity of who they are. Because if you don't know who you are, then somebody else is gonna put their perception of you,
Yep.
who they think you are, and
Good point.
whatever parts you accept, you're gonna take in as part of your identity of who you are. But you need to search within and have self belief, and you write your own story. You're the director of your own movie. You're the star, and you need to have that self belief that you can achieve everything that you want to achieve. Our successes, our goals, targets, those things that we have out there that we have a inkling, a little itch to do, the hobbies like you with learning to or expanding your rap game and enjoying it, like saying that you're falling in love with it, that's what it's about. Like those type of things are the things we should pursue, and because we'll be more likely to master that and to reach the levels that we want to, because we have that inspiration, we have that drive to get there, because we enjoy it for one, and plus it's something that pushes us. We have a challenge to do it. It's not easy, it's a challenge. So that's one aspect of it. But self belief, man, is just super important for us to get to where we need to get in life, and to quiet all the noise, all the haters, all the negativity, saying that we can't reach where we want to reach.
Very true. When you said, like, if you don't have a sense of self, you will be susceptible to people putting like their belief of who you are on you, and then you will internalize that,
Right.
which is just terrible. And that made me think about when I was hanging out with family, and I had my little nephew Nico, and he likes I be playing with him and everything, and he likes to mirror me sometimes. And so when he was mirroring me, I purposely said things like, I am smart, I am intelligent, I am cool, and all these things. So he would say it himself. So even though he may not know that he's saying it, he's like programming himself to believe these things. And so it's funny that you said that, because that's what I believe as well, and that's why I try to teach others as well, to always believe in yourself and be your primary cheerleader. You can't count on any other people to be your cheerleader. You need to be proud of yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to love who you are. You need to accept yourself for who you are. You need to also forgive yourself for anything that you did in the past, and understand that you are a better person nowadays, and that you are here in this present moment because of you growing and evolving to the person that you are right now at this very moment. And so it's just very essential to believe in yourself and know yourself. And I would say that's like one of the main things that I did this past year.
Yeah.
And I thank God that God has given me that time to, not necessarily need to focus on work or getting money. I was able to focus on myself and defining who I am, the new version of myself. Because of course, for me to take that leap from corporate America to be in entrepreneurship, I can't be the same corporate DeMarcus, because corporate DeMarcus got me in a corporate situation, and I did not like the corporate situation I was in.
Right.
So now I had to change it to entrepreneurship, DeMarcus, where it's like now, or more so Sean Breeze, that's my moniker and everything. I give you guys my government, but I had to change into the entrepreneurship version of myself, and I had to study people who are entrepreneurs, and make sure that I download their mindset so I can take on that. And just over the course of a year, just trying to get back to the point, but over the course of the year, it was a trial. It was a trying time, because you're not quite sure where you're going. And then during the time, I did lose belief in myself a lot, because I didn't know where I was going in life. But slowly but surely, one of the main keys that helped benefit me was to continuously seek knowledge, and also continuously seek knowledge of self, and learning what I love and learning what brings me joy. And so once I started to make things like very simple to myself, which was to focus on things that I enjoy doing and that I love doing, things became a lot more clear as to where I needed to go in my life. So hopefully that can help somebody out there.
For sure, man. And that's like when you have identity of self, or self belief, then you know who you're not.
That's
You
true.
know
Oh,
you're
yeah,
not
that's
a
true. Facts.
quitter.
Yeah.
You know you're not a person that can't get things done. You know that you are not like a person that's not focused, and all of those different things that you are not. You know you're not that once you find that identity of who you are,
True.
and those things that bring out your brilliance, your genius, because
True.
that's within all of us. We're all leaders at certain aspect, at some aspect of life. We all have that leadership in us because we're made in the image of God. So we have that within us. Everybody is a leader of something. And the only thing is, it says that he's given us dominion over the animals of the fields, the plants, all that type of thing. But it's not to lead over other people, to be over them. Children, we teach them and all that, of course. But eventually they will be adults, and they'll be helping us, caring for us. So that's just part of the circle of life. But it's not for us to rule another human being, another leader at some point. So we all have that in us. We've been, taught and given an identity that is probably not who we really are.
Yeah.
So everybody needs to take that time to get that self-belief where it should be, and have a good identity of who they are, so they can reach their potential and their purpose. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Oh man, that's very true, man. Cause it makes me think about the common situation that we all experience, which is like we grow up, our parents tell us that we need to be a certain thing, that we need to do a certain thing, and of course, like we tend to go along. Well, most people tend to go along with their parents. Some people tend to rebel, but like let me just speak it more so about myself. Like, me just growing up, the pathway to success in life told to me by my parents was like, of course, you go to school, get your education, and then you get your job. And then my uncle told me that hold up, don't just get your bachelor degree, get your master's, so you can be really really solidified in your life. And I did those things, even though I felt internally that I should be doing something different, that I should be doing something that was more creative, that was more iconic, that was more just bigger than what I was doing, because I felt like I was just more so just going into like the I was just like following other people's path and not really making my own path. And so oh man, I forgot the whole point of me bringing that up. But I'll just say this, that yeah, for a while I did that. It just came to a point in my life where I realized that, hey, this is not bringing me any type of happiness or joy, and I'm miserable. And so I needed to make a significant change in my life in order to ensure that I at least head towards a direction that will lead me to be more at peace with my life and more happy with my life. And so yeah. And that took like
The breaking point, huh?
yeah, the breaking point. And of course that was like I guess this can be tied to belief in self, because at the moment of making that decision, it is very scary, because we get trained to be addicted to security,
Comfortable,
and just being comfortable, and just be like even before I left my job, my mom was like, just stay there 2 years and make it 10 years. Like, just stay there 2 more years, you can be there for 10 years, and then you can leave. I'm like, what's the point? Why would I waste 2 years of my life there just to make it to 10, and I still be miserable during those 2 years? It
Not
doesn't
happy.
make any sense,
Yeah.
And so like we get conditioned to just accept being comfortable and not being challenged. And in my opinion, that's not the way a person should live their life. I think a person should continuously seek challenges and seek growth opportunities so they can become a better version of themselves. And because I think that's the ultimate point of life, is to become the best version of yourself. And so you can look back when you're old and gray and be like, oh man, look at all that I have done in my life. Look at all the growth that I have done in my life. I lived, and now I can now I can check out and go to the Most High. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
how I feel
man.
about it, at least.
And the what it takes to grow is to be pulled, to be stretched
Yeah.
and whatnot. If you think about it like a muscle,
Also,
if we're a muscle, the only way the muscle is gonna grow and get bigger or even stay at that plateau or whatever is for it to be stretched, for it to be worked out, to be tore.
Yeah.
Actually, you tear the muscle, it gets bigger, comes back together. So we have to be pushed, we have to be torn, so to speak, or whatever. But accepting the challenges, we have to be in the uncomfortable situation to make us pull out our best ideas, to take it to a level that we never have done. Because if we just stay in the mediocre, mundane mode, and I'm just gonna just get through this or whatever, I don't want to be pushed uncomfortably. I don't want to be pushed to my edge. I just want to, survive. I just want to, I want to chill.
Yeah.
Don't push me past my edge. That's not the life where we're going to reach our potential and be our greatest self, our best version. Like you were saying, we're not going to get there unless we step to the edge and look over and see, oh, okay, it's not that far down. It is, but I'm willing to go to that next level. There's a ledge there that's going to hold me up, and then I'll drop down to the next, or going up, whatever, it's just an analogy. But the thing is, we want to push ourselves to be our best. So as we're older and later in life, we can look back and be like, hey, I did this, I did that. And I know that I can face whatever else is to come because it built my character, it built my identity. That's my identity. All of these things collective, not just one situation, not just, one time that you achieved something, not just one time that you failed. All of these things accumulate who we are and what we went through in our lives. So
super true, man. You let me speak to me, man. Just so much fire that was spit you spit out and everything. I really believe that you should be a person who constantly seek challenges, man. Seek growth, seek opportunities where you will be stretched, and so you can, like Cass say, you can be stretched, torn, but then be brought back together, and then just be a stronger person. Because the thing is, once you do something that you think or you thought was something that was of great difficulty, and you overcome it, you get a great sense of confidence within yourself, which will then fuel more belief within yourself, and then you will have that mindset of, all right, let me see what else I can do, what else I can be, how can I overcome another obstacle.
on to the next one,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So the thing is, like, one cool thing is, like, you can start small and then let it snowball into something that's great. Like, overcome something. Like, I think that's really what one thing I've been focusing on. It was more so I've been focusing on overcoming bad habits and just bad rituals, or I don't want to say bad, but more so habits that aren't going to lead me to being where I want to be in life, in the future. And so I just been like focusing on like making sure that I have solid routines, making sure that I stick to my routines, making sure that because sometimes I fall off. Like, I haven't really been journaling as much as I should have been journaling recently. I haven't been like because like life happens. Like, I've been like, or I feel like, well, I don't have time to journal. Let me go focus on just rapping right now because the baby's going to come soon. And I don't, when the baby comes, you're going to hear like baby crying in the background of my tracks now, And so, I'm joking, but I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to maximize my time and focus mainly on recording because I feel like when the baby comes, the recording is going to stop for a little bit. But anyway, point that I'm trying to make is like, yeah, like we fall off our routines. But the thing is, like, as long as you maintain focus and ensure that it's always in the back of your mind that you're gonna get back to it, that's cool. But I just lost track of what I was saying, but the point I'm saying in general is that we all fall off. You know, and I think it's important to ensure that you are aware of your habits. And one bad habit I think most people have, and that I have had in the past, was just the habit of bad thought and the habit of telling myself negative things, which caused me to not believe in myself. And so I think it's very important to always just be mindful of your thoughts too, to ensure that you are thinking the right thing, and so you can ensure that your belief system is not being beaten up by yourself, by your thoughts.
For sure, man, because the thoughts, whether it's yours or somebody else's, that's where, it all, the identity and stuff comes from. And you definitely want to have, that right thought process and mindset of yourself and attitude. And it also, from what you're saying, like self-respect also
True.
comes from, self-belief. Like you have respect for yourself,
True.
for
Super
ourselves.
true. Yeah.
And you earn that. And that's like with the reputation, you have a, like, okay, I set my mind to do something and I completed, I accomplished it. So that's a check on, okay, it's up another notch of your reputation or self-belief, self-respect of yourself. Like you get another notch. And like you said, start small or whatever, but keep building that up. You know what I'm saying? And then when something big comes, because you know how life is, that's the way life goes. When something big comes, opportunity or something, obstacle or whatever, you will have built up that self-reputation, self-respect, self-belief, and you will attack it and go through it until you accomplish it and finish it, because you've built that track record with yourself, so
Yeah, when you have respect for yourself, you will set standards for yourself, and then you will set like my father say, you will develop a me constitution of sorts where
Yeah.
you have something that you live by, and that and you will establish things that you would die for potentially. I know I have. I think that's one of the best things that I did was like identify like what I would die for, identify like my limits, what I believe in, who I am, and then be like, all right, I'm about that. But also, I would say that, or I would add a caveat. I would say that you also have to have the mindset of having flexibility with your belief system. That's one thing that I actually thought about earlier was the importance of having a very flexible belief system. It's not like when I was a kid. This is funny because this is God. That's how I know God is real. I was just thinking about this earlier today on the porch. Like when I was a kid, I thought eating eggs and rice with sugar was a good meal. Like like I would make that for a good breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I eat it for dinner too because I love it.
that was your joint.
Yeah, I had eggs, rice, and sugar. And that fill me up. I'll be happy now. If I really want to go hard, I have like some bacon and some sausage into it as well.
Yeah.
Make it a real bowl. And so, but at that time, as a kid, I thought it was a good meal. But now, grown as an adult, I'm 33 years old. That's horrible. That's a poor meal. I didn't really realize it was a poor meal that I was making until like in my 20s, late 20s or whatever like that. And so. Fortunately, my belief system on like how food should be and how I should treat food, and like the relationship of food with me has changed significantly, where I now see food mainly as it's fuel, and whatever I eat ensures like it does impact my success. If I'm out here eating freaking Popeye's chicken every damn day,
Greasy hands, got
fries, grease, I'm waking up sluggish and everything. I'm about to kill over now. You know what I'm saying? Belly just rolling and everything. I'm not exercising and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna be a successful person because more than likely I'm not gonna be in a good mood. I'm not gonna have the right mind state. I'm not gonna be willing to like want to go like learn stuff because I'll be like feeling so depressed because I ate like terrible food. But the point of all this is that like you have to be very flexible with your belief system and understand that hey, something that you believe in right now may be a bad belief, and that you may need to change that belief. And so what I often look at interviews. I look at, I don't know, probably like maybe like maybe 5 to 10 interviews a day. I don't know. Like I look at interviews like all day, and I study people who are successful, and then I make sure that I kind of do a comparison to see like, all right, they believe this and I believe that, and so but they are in a more successful position, or they are in a position that I would like to be in success wise. I need to change this belief system to this, and then I see what happened. I tried different belief systems. It's like, the thing that's the fun part about life. You can try out belief systems, and see which one works for you and which one will yield the success that you desire in your life. And so, yeah, to add on to the topic, like, yeah, you have to be. It's very important to be a person who has a flexible belief system. And so, yeah.
For sure. I mean, hey, nobody walks in your shoes except you.
Yep.
Nobody sees through your eyes. Nobody, nobody ate the rice, the eggs, and sugar
Yeah,
as a
the
kid.
eggs, right? Did you eat that
We
as a
all,
kid?
nah, did I?
Nah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I run into people like, "Hey, you ever had that?" They were like, "Nah." Like, oh, okay.
You might need to package that and sell it. Hey. Some kid is out there eating that right now. So, but that's the whole thing. Like, we all, again, are writing our own story, and so we gotta find what works for us, whether belief or our attitude, the things that we like to do. We gotta experiment on the things that we have interest in, and see which one, throw it against the wall, and what sticks, and what you actually can grow a passion for, have a passion for. But also, man, like self-belief, I believe that's like that's belief in God or the Creator, because He's within us. So if in order to have belief in God and to love God, you have to love yourself and have self-belief in yourself, because to do that with anybody, with your kids, with your wife, with your family, you have to have it starts with self, with your inner self first, and then we're able to love other people, and in a healthy way, not in a way where we get caught up with them, and like what's the word I'm looking for, where you're like obsessed with them and all, because sometimes we get obsessed with things and all that. But when you love yourself and have self-identity, self-belief, then you could truly love others, give value to others, and bless others, and live your purpose. And I believe God honors that, because He created you for a reason. You'll be able to find your true purpose. And when we're living in purpose, I believe the Creator God is happy with us, and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Like a bird's supposed to fly, is supposed to eat berries and drop the seed off or whatever to another one, so if it continues on or whatever. But purpose, that's the thing. Living in our purpose, and self-belief is the beginning of that. It starts with self-belief,
Yeah, I also believe along the lines that you said. Make sure I got it correct. That believing yourself is like showing that you believe in God, right? Okay, and so I believe that like it's important that you are a authority of yourself, because I believe that God will show you favor if you are the authority of yourself, meaning that like you're not a person who is a secondhand human being who is just living to please others. And this is different from like being a person who's like trying to serve others and trying to give back. Like I'm saying that like you're trying to play a role for others, and so you can be accepted by others, and because you want to be, you long for that being accepted, which is cool. But the thing is, like, if you're not really being a authentic person, then that's not really cool. That's really like you. And I know deep down inside that you are not happy. I know, because I've been there before. And so, yeah, I say all that to say that I believe God favors those who are also very authentic, and he only will give instruction to those who are authentic to themselves. And so, because I feel that God wouldn't want a person who is easily tainted by others.
And He wants us fearless.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of the us wanting acceptance and is done out of fear. And nobody, I'm not saying I'm above that or anything, because we all have our fears and different things. And we just want to overcome those. And that's the main thing is we overcome our fears, and we don't allow fear to let us settle with what somebody else puts on us, their thoughts, their beliefs, because more than likely don't even have self-belief in themselves.
True.
You know,
True.
so we got to hold down the fort within ourselves. You know, you got to hold it down, that self-belief, that self-motivation, that go-getter spirit to to push through, to exceed expectations, do more, do a little more. Don't be stagnant. Don't be settling. Don't do just barely enough just to pass through like I did in school.
Well, I think that occurs because mainly like, well, yeah, because we're doing something that is really not of interest to us.
Not in the
And
purpose.
so yeah, not in alignment with your purpose. I believe like when you find something that you like damn near addicted to doing, like you have to do it, like you love to do it, like a lot. That's more than likely something that's in alignment with your purpose, and something that really brings you like extreme pleasure and just like happiness and joy. That's more than likely in alignment with your purpose. So that's like the interesting thing about like music for me, because like with music, everybody knows that like the music is like supposed to be a very hard road. It's like it's very it's very slow ground where you may not be able to see money until like years from being in the music game. And so it's like for me, the struggle has been like logically, I know like this is not. It's gonna take a minute. It may take a minute. It may take a minute. 'Cause God, I heard God has given me a vision that basically is gonna take sooner than what I thought. And so, but it usually takes a minute. And so, like logically, I'm thinking like, why am I choosing this route? Like I can just like take photos of people. That's more of a practical route because I can get business like ASAP. But like with music, it's like more of it's a journey for sure.
Yeah.
So, but I had to just really admit to myself that hey, rapping is something that brings me nothing but pure joy, and I realized that I had to get to a point where I can't be a person who is addicted to money too. I can't be a person who always just like seek money, like money.
Right.
Then that is essentially me allowing money to be my God.
Right.
Like money is like now determining what decisions I make in my life. Who I should be, like that type of thing, which is like, okay, I'm not being an authentic person, which God would, in my opinion, God would be like, you're lame for that. that's how God talked to me. he talked like very South Oak Clippish. And so like yeah, you're lame. You need to be yourself. You need to be true to who you are. And so I don't know. That's what goes on in my mind. That's how my mind thinks about that. So yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, man, that's what it's about, man. And yeah, self-belief, I believe that it incorporates, belief in God and him within ourselves, that it's not like way out there. It's within ourselves. If we love ourselves, self-belief, then we are in alignment with him and our purpose, because we need that. That's essential. You can't fulfill your purpose. You can't finish the plans that God has for you if you don't have self-belief that you will do it. You're not gonna get off from the starting line.
True.
Without that,
Super fast, man. We absolutely killed that topic. Yeah, you probably won't make it to the self awareness part, but of
It
course,
was in
like,
there a little bit.
Yeah,
I think.
I say
The concept,
that was the point I'm going, man. Like the thing is, like to even get to these type of points and even get to these type of mind states, I guess you could say, you have to practice self-awareness in general, like to be aware of your belief system and be aware of how your belief system is affecting you, and just being aware that you may not be believing in yourself as much as you should be believing in yourself at the current moment. All that I'm just gonna say, all that requires that you are a person who is self-aware. There you go. And we cover our bases like that.
Yeah, right at the end we wrapped
with
it up.
with the sauce right there. Put the sauce on the top. That's how you do it. There you go. So so Kaz, go ahead and give out your socials. I know it's time for us to wrap it up. So yeah, go ahead and give out your socials.
For sure. You can reach me on Instagram at CAS_THRIVE, Cast Thrive, and also the Boxing Bell for the latest news on boxing and whatnot, and also on Facebook, So
yeah,
I'll let your boy.
You can catch me, Sean Breeze, on Instagram, SeanBreeze.com, for like my music stuff, photography, And also, you can catch the episodes of the Creative Masterminds podcast on there as well. I have it posted there. And yeah, be on the lookout for more music. We got some music on the way for sure. And so just very excited to get that music out. Pretty soon. I can just feel it. It's kind of weird, very weird to explain, but it's like something like you can just feel something is coming.
It's bubbling up.
Yeah, it's like that line that Drake said a while ago. He said, I know that it's coming, but I hope that I'm alive for it. I'm not sure why that line hit so hard to me recently, but like it's like I know everything's coming that I desire. It's coming. It's like a meteor just coming straight to me. The thing is, I just got to keep preparing myself and keep growing and keep evolving and prepare myself for that blessing. And that might be the next subject that we need the importance of preparing yourself for your blessings. That should be a fire ass topic.
I'm with it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, with that said, this has been the Creative Masterminds Podcast, Fire Podcast.
Hey, you know what it is.
Yes, sir. And with that said, we are out. Peace. Oh, yeah, my bad. The Creative Masterminds, YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook.
Like, subscribe, share.
Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. All right, now, for real. Peace.
Holla.